David G. What are you talking about?
Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J. We back. Of course, we had a hot mic through most of that break, but that's all right. Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J. We're back. Carlton Banks is going to lead us by asking the question, what do you think about it? Carlton Banks.
All right, I got a question for you. My little boy, he out there playing Dynamo Soccer. Shout out to Dynamo Soccer. You know what? I got this one girl on my team. Yo, she is like an Amazon compared to these boys. She is rough. She is tough. So let me ask you, how do you feel about girls playing co-ed sports with boys? Like football and baseball and basketball and soccer. I mean, are you worried that the girls will get hurt, because of such a quote-unquote violent sport, or because they are genetically built to be bigger and stronger than you girls? I mean, what's up, April P?
It depends on the sport. It depends on the age.
Carlton. On the sports and
it depends on the sport. It depends on the age.
So
would I be intimidated by my daughter playing on a co-ed basketball team? No. Would I be intimidated by my daughter playing on a co-ed soccer team? No.
Okay.
When you start talking football, we probably need to keep it within the gender.
Okay.
And also the age too. I mean, it matters.
So can she be a tight end on the football team?
My baby?
Yeah, your baby.
No.
Why not?
Cause no. She, on a female lingerie league.
Why she? Oh, did you see the hit on the lingerie
league?
That
was
kind of rough.
Lingerie league, yes.
Why not? Why? I mean, there's some girls in the NCAAs who are playing quarterback right now.
I
in high school, I don't know about NCAA.
There are, but I would be concerned.
Why? What?
Might get hurt.
Okay, so
can we take my baby out of it? Because that's too personal.
But, okay, but still.
All right, take your baby out of it.
Take my baby out of it. But any other girl, if that's
kind of cold, April.
Okay,
what?
Right.
You gonna let somebody else's child get knocked
the
hell out, but yours
that's
can't.
not my child.
Okay, so let me ask.
That's not my child.
Let me change.
That's not my child.
Focus. That's not your child. Let me change my focus to somebody who I know competes against boys.
Okay.
Little Mama J.
Okay.
Now, Little Mama J.
But look at her daddy. Little Mama J can probably handle it.
Mama J is a few years older than Lil P, but Lil P will be the age that Mama J is soon. So, we all look
but he
at.
Have her out there. Have you seen some of the pictures? I mean, she mowing and.
She's mowing and she
throwing fastballs and calling curves and
she doing knuckle push-ups and whatnot.
Yeah.
So
I don't allow her to do push-ups unless they on her knuckles. They gotta be on her knuckles. They gotta be on her knuckles.
Grooming her to play with the boys.
There's no way.
Right.
So
I'm not building the beast. My baby's talking about jazz.
There's
and tap
absolutely
dancing.
no way.
Okay, but hold on, Marcus J. Your baby girl is in what? What sport is she in?
She takes taekwondo.
Do you have a problem with her going up against a boy?
She go against boys she go against grown men.
Thank you.
Grown men. Like when I say grown men, I mean like grown men.
Right.
So when it's time to spar, they put on the pads and they spar. And if you're a friend on my Facebook page, you can see the pictures there where she's sparring. But
different.
I understand. I understand.
That's contact. That's fighting.
But I understand.
But it's not.
I understand both of your positions. Here's the deal, Carlton. I don't have a problem with her in controlled environments.
Right.
And while I can make the grand pronouncement that she's sparring with grown men, they ain't going hard on her.
Right.
You know what I mean? They're going to tag her. They're going to let her know that they was in the room with her, but they're not going to hurt her either.
But is that fair in that same standpoint?
Well, it's mostly about when they sparring, it's mostly about learning technique. When they get older and they get more progressed in their taekwondo education, for lack of a better term, basically once they get the black belt is when the learning really begins. It's kind of like, the color belts are kind of like pre-K. When you get the black belt, now you're in kindergarten. That's kind of the way it was explained to me. So they take the time with her. But I think the essence of what you're asking is it all right for a 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10-year-old girl to be out there playing sports with boys? Now, I'll tell you a very, very brief story. When I was growing up in Jersey City, New Jersey, I used to play baseball at Bayside Park, which was where all the kids played baseball in the league. And, you had about 6, 8, 10 teams. I can't remember exactly how many. But you had a few girls that were sprinkled in that.
Right.
You had some girls that played with us. And we went up to 12 years old.
Okay.
We went up to 12 years old because I'm guessing that was the question you were going to ask me. We went up to 12 years old. You had a few girls that was sprinkled into it. Now, baseball is a non-contact sport.
Right.
And as long as you ain't scared to catch the ball.
Or get hit by the ball.
Right. Which, you know, flesh is flesh. If you're a boy and you get hit in the forehead, or you're a girl, you get hit in the forehead, it's going to still hurt. So what's the difference? Soccer is the same way, in my opinion.
Right.
I think the only place where it gets a little funky is football, like American football, not soccer.
Right.
And how many times have we seen the girls fighting so that they can get on the team? And you've seen them playing contact football with the boys in high school.
And they also have semi-pro girls football.
But I think the essence of what you ask, correct me if I'm wrong,
play with the men?
Is it co-ed? Is it okay to be co-ed? And I agree with April in the sense that once you get to a certain age, April, that's when you want to start seeing them diverge into different directions. Right. Would you agree?
I agree completely.
Big Rube has been
silent,
uncharacteristically silent on the subject. Would you care to offer an opinion, my friend?
He got a gaggle of nieces.
Yeah,
most definitely.
Yeah, he got a gag order on him for something.
Well, first of all, okay.
Sorry, I've been wanting to do that. Sorry.
First, I guess I can bring some experience to this table. I don't have any kids of my own, but years ago, I coached 12 and 14-year-old soccer, girls, boys. So, with that being said, I've seen it in the atmosphere that y'all are speaking of. Well, should they start splitting them off, or should they stop playing? You know, that sort of thing. When you're 12 to 14 and you're playing co-ed rec league soccer, that is probably the time where you learn where you can either take it or you can't. It's that simple. Because just because you're a girl, that does not mean that a boy on the other team is going to stop doing what they're doing.
Right.
Exactly.
You know, and just because you're a girl, that does not mean that another girl on the other team ain't going to slide tackle you if it's possible. Now, also, having played soccer myself, soccer is probably the most physical sport of basketball, football, baseball. Because you have 2 shin pads, and that's a whole bunch of it. You have a jersey. So you take a lot of shoulders, you take a lot of elbows, you take a lot of tackles.
Concussions.
You can get concussions. I mean, if you hit the ball wrong with your head, you will give yourself a concussion. So, with that being said, around 12 to 14 is when the girls really decide, do I want to continue this soccer pathway? And if they do, then they go to girls soccer when they turn 15. Now, as far as the girls wanting to play football, hey, my opinion is if you can go out there and hang, then you can play. If you can go out there, like I think it was a big girl, if she wants to go out there and play line, if she can take it, then she can take it. I don't want to hear no crying. I don't want to hear nothing about my makeup, my nails, none of that crap.
I was with you until you went there.
No, but because the reason why is when you're 15, 16, 17, it's not like you don't know what you're getting into. I mean, it's not fair to sit here and say, well, she's a girl, so you can't tackle her, or you can't push her aside to get to the quarterback in a gentle way. That's not fair.
Right.
So when you're that age, you can determine, do I really want to deal with this kind of physical punishment as a woman? And if you say yes, then you deal. But once you say no, then you back away and roll out. Should they have the opportunity? Yes. Should parents stop them? That's up to the parents. I can't sit here and say it. But if she's like, 5'3", 110 pounds, maybe she shouldn't be playing line.
Yeah, there's some boys that's about that size that shouldn't be out there playing.
Exactly. But if she's a wide receiver and she wants to play and she can take a hit, go for it. I'm all for it. It's fair.
I'm like this. You want equal rights. You want equal time. You want to play with the big boys. Come on, step on out there. Now, again, it's an ego thing to a man to say, damn, I just got knocked up by a girl.
Knocked up.
Yeah.
That hurts.
Yeah.
And there's some girls that are out there that I'll be like straight up, no, you ain't hitting me for real, because I'm gonna have to do something back to try to get you. But again, why the fear of women and men playing together in that type of environment? It's supposedly controlled, and again, everybody's up to the same skill level. If she didn't have skills, it'd be different.
Are we still talking about your soccer team, or are we speaking in general?
We're gonna speak in general because we want to bring you back into the conversation since you had to take your.
And if you got an opinion on it, hit us up on the Facebook fan page. Ain't no half stepping Marcus J. If you've never been on Facebook and liked us, please go ahead and do that now. Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J. Search us 804-447-0601. It's a live line. The time is now 3 minutes after 8 on the East Coast. We're going to wrap up this segment going forward, and then we're going to talk to Miss Tiffany in Chicago about what's going on in Chicago with regards to the teacher strike and the murder rate there. Of course, that'll be preceded by a missing and/or exploited child that we will do momentarily. Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J. As far as the kids, I mean, I spoke mostly on Mama J. I'll speak a little bit more generally. I mean, I pretty much agree with the sentiment that's been displayed here already, particularly Big Rue's point, and it's odd for me to actually agree with him because it kind of hurts me to the core that I actually have to give him credit.
Love it.
I have to give him credit because he spoke from a position of knowledge because he knows this firsthand, and I don't know it firsthand because all I have is Mama J. But I agree with him. I mean, once you get to a level where the physical changes between a boy and a girl start to become a lot more pronounced, the skill level can become a lot more pronounced, and the desire can become a lot more pronounced, then the girls have a decision. Are you going to continue to play with the boys? Is there a team where you could play with only girls? Do you want to play at all? Right. Once you make that decision, I have no problem with any female who is physically able to keep up with the males to play with the males for as long as she chooses to do so. I'm not one of those people that she's a girl, she can't play. I'm not one of those people. A large part of that opinion comes from the fact that I have a girl. I have a girl that I know I've watched. She can do anything a boy can do except pee standing up. That's the only thing she can't do.
That can be learned.
And that can be, and I'm sure that can be learned. But in all seriousness, she throws as hard as any boy has thrown. She can throw a tight spiral in football. She cuts grass. She punches you in the chest. She hits you in the sternum the right way. You might lose your breath for a half a second. So, at 9, she can do anything a boy can do. And she bigger than most of them at 9.
Yeah. And see, you know what? Hollywood made a movie off it. And shout out to the teams that were played, the Giants and the Cowboys, the Little Giants.
The Little Giants, yeah.
Because I love me some Icebox. I ain't going to front. First year, little boy played soccer. We had a little girl on our team. I straight up called her Icebox because she was just as rough, as tough as them boys. She was shoulder checking everybody that came in her way, teammates or not. She was knocking them down to get to that ball. What you got?
No, I just want to be clear. I am not saying that they don't deserve the opportunity, that they don't deserve the chance. I really do agree. If Grace really, really want to do it, yeah, I'm not going to tell her no. But would I be out there, with my face covered and the first mama on the field when she go down? Yeah.
Yeah, but you would be like that if she was a boy.
If the girls did it,
maybe
right?
Not.
Yeah, you would because
I
I got family members who have boys that played high school football, and I know people personally, who've played in the National Football League, who used to be little boys, who mamas was standing there watching them.
That's my baby.
Yeah, and I know people that played, competitively, and their mothers are just as nervous for them as boys as you would a girl, and a lot of it has to do with the natural instinct to pamper a little girl, and that's okay, that's fine. But if that little girl shows a propensity and a skill to participate in a sport and has a little bit more aggression in her, I see no reason to curtail that and dampen that spirit. I'm going to let her play as long as she's able and
it's
wants
her
to.
choice.
And playing with boys, her skills should improve.
In theory, they should.
My only thing is,
In theory.
my only thing I have to say is I agree for all of it. However, don't be that parent who's like ignorant of the negativity and the possibility that your child can be hurt, because next thing you know, why are you beating up my baby? She's just a girl. You can't be saying that.
No,
if you allow her to go out in that atmosphere, there is no she's just a girl.
Yeah,
that is done.
Yeah.
Because
there was a parent who did that to my kid one year, and I about went down on the parent because he came out on the field. Don't come out on the field with my kid out there. The girl was bigger than my kid, and she was all on top of him. So he did everything he could to be like, just get off my back. Get off my back. She's towering over him. So he's playing back.
Hit her with elbow.
Ran off on the field. He's too rough. Hold on now. Until you come on that field, you all right. You can say whatever you want to say on that field. That's me being a dad about my son. You know, that's not so much a parent. I mean, a mother and a daughter. That's just being a parent. So you're going to be worried. But the whole thing is, can the girls play with the boys? Can you be up and say, I'm going to D Kobe Bryant up best I can? That's what I want to know. All right?
Well, I mean, again, I think we all kind of put it out there what we feel on this subject. I think we agree that it's okay. I think Big Rue put it best that, you know, once you get to a point where, you know, you're going to be worrying about don't hurt my baby, it's probably time for you to think about another thing. And then the final thing that I'll say with regards to the skill level, at the risk of, you know, offending any of the girls who do play sports, I didn't mean to say that girls aren't skilled, but there are just not as many skilled girls playing these sports at these ages. So if you're playing with the boys, you're playing with the best competition available in theory. In theory. As Cheryl Miller, yeah, she played with her little brother Reggie. Ain't no Steppin and Marcus J. We're going to leave it there. We're going to take our break. And when we come back, we got Miss Tiffany Miller who's going to join us and talk to us about what's going on in Chicago. Marcus J. Ain't no Steppin. Be back in a minute.
I start sweating and blood starts coming out my nose. And somebody watching the act. But I don't know who it is.